Hi. Hello, and welcome to the Alert Factor. I'm Nancy Alert, and I'd like to welcome you to our weekly show regarding real estate. This is everything real estate. We talk about your window coverings, we talk about landscaping, we talk about buying that perfect, sexy second home condo on the beach, whether you want to buy investment property, whether you're looking to buy a hotel, whatever it is real estate related, we're here for you. So remember to send us, inbox us, or send me a message to info@nancyalert.com if you have questions that you'd like to be answered on the show. We are here every Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can watch us on our TV.network or on Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, wherever you can watch and listen to the Alert Factor on Wednesdays from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So today, what I wanted to chat with you a little bit about before we bring our special guests on, there's a lot of chatter going on out there in the market about the interest rates and about buyers with excellent credit being penalized for those that do not have such good credit. And yes, unfortunately, it is real. It is true. This is something that's happening currently. To, I guess, it's to balance it, right? To balance where everyone is able to become a homeowner. The new rule is coming out as of May 1st. So it's already here and active as of May 1st, 2023. It was where if you have like a 720 credit score, that was deemed to be really, really good, excellent, which it is. You can, get whatever credit card you want, buy your house with a very good interest rates. Well, now what is happening is, let's say we're going to compare a 660 credit score to a 720 credit score, and what the interest rates would be and what the fees that would be assessed. So for example, if someone has a 660 credit score, and someone has a 720 credit score, now the person with the 660 credit score will get like a 6.25 interest rate on the for the purchase of their home, 6.25, and the person with a 720 credit score will get a 6.5 interest rate. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I done did all I needed to do to make sure I pay my bills on time and make sure that I have a very good credit score of 720. So why am I paying 0.25% more interest rate than someone that has a less credit score than I do? Well, I guess it's to equalize it and to make sure everyone is able to purchase a home. So that's what that is so that the person with the 660 credit score, the facts remain. If you think about it, I know you're mad right now, but if you step back for a second and think about it, the person with the 660 credit score, if the interest rate is so much higher, they're already being priced out, right? And I would like for everyone with the excellent credit to keep in mind, someone with a 660 credit score or a lower credit score than yours, it doesn't necessarily mean they have been reckless with their credit or they have been reckless in paying their bills. It could just mean that these individuals weren't using credit, like credit cards. Some people don't have credit cards. They believe in pay as you go, pay with cash. But in the society that we live in, you have to have credit to get certain things, right? So they may now starting to get credit by they just got a credit card. Your credit score can be low because your credit history is a short history, meaning that you just got a credit card a year ago or 2 years ago or last year. It could mean that you have no credit at all, or it could mean that it's low because you're utilizing the credit that you have to the max. Because in order for you to keep your credit score excellent, even if you have credit cards, you have to remember you should only charge 30% of what they're allowing you to spend. Because if you have a $10,000 credit limit and you spend $8,000, your credit score is going to go down because they're saying that you're living at your max. So your credit score is going to go down. So you have to remember sometimes the credit score is because people have been reckless with their payments and they haven't paid on time and things like that. But for the most part, that is not the reason. So for those that their credit score is lower due to not being negligent, bankruptcies, collections, or anything like that, the people with the excellent credit scores now balancing it out and helping them to be able to purchase a property. So let me give it to you in numbers. Let's say someone was buying a $200,000 property, a property that was worth $200,000. The fee that the person with good credit would have been paying is a $2,000 fee across the board for your loan. Now you'll be paying you would be paying a $3,000, a $1,000. So if it's a $200,000 purchase price, the person with excellent credit would have been paying $1,000 fee, mortgage fee. Now you'd be paying a $2,000 mortgage fee. And for the people, the individuals that had a lower interest, a lower credit score, what they would have been paying is a $5,000 fee. Now, with the change in the interest rate, they will be paying a $3,000 fee. So if they were purchasing a $200,000 home, they got a reprieve of $2,000. The people with the excellent credit, you're getting a penalty of about $1,000. So yes, it's $1,000, but if you look at it in the scheme of things, it is not that significant. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Yes, this is real. Yes, you will be penalized a little bit when you're purchasing a home with excellent credit, but just think of it as you're helping the other person purchase their property. And if you contact me, I can show you ways that you can not see that difference in the money that you have to pay. I can show you how, without my negotiating skills, you'll be able to essentially not see that difference in money that you would have to pay. So anyway, I'm Nancy Alert. You're watching The Alert Factor, and we're here to talk about everything about real estate. So I'm a real estate agent licensed in Maryland, Virginia, DC, 27 years experience. I work with everyone regarding resale, new homes, condos, townhouses, single families. However, my focus is on showing people how to create wealth and leave a legacy by buying multi-units. It is my belief, based on my experience and based on my personal experience and my real estate experience, that everyone should own a multi-unit, whether it's just 3 units, 4 units, 6 units, whatever. Everyone should own a multi-unit because that helps you to create wealth and to leave a legacy for your children or the future generation. But more importantly, having a multi-unit allows you the opportunity to live that life that you were created to live. We're here to live a luxurious, a life of abundance, not lack. Okay. So if you have a multi-unit, this is you getting a check every month, every single month from that for the rest of your life or until you sell that property. And remember, multi-units are not to be sold. They're to be kept in your family for generations to come. You want to find out how you can own a multi-unit. Also, to find out how you can own a multi-unit, buy one with low credit score, no down payment, no closing costs, inbox me, info@nancyalert.com, and I will show you how to do that. So now we will get on with the business of today. We are talking about going naked, covering your windows. So I will bring my guest on, Rosalind Ashburn.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing today?
Everything's good. Everything's good. We're covering up windows.
Everything is good?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so
Yep. Yep.
that's what you said. Cover yourself, right? Cover
Cover
yourself.
yourself. Don't be
That's the name
naked.
of
Cover your naked
that.
windows. Absolutely.
Right. So that's the name of the show today. Um, no more naked windows.
No
Cover
more naked windows.
yourself.
That's right. That's
Cover
right.
yourself. And so Rosalind is going to tell us a little bit about her, and then we're going to find out all about no more naked windows, how
No
we're
more
going to
naked
cover
windows.
ourselves. So tell us
Exactly.
about you, Rosalind, and how you got into the windows, the
The
blinds,
window
and the
covering world. So, yes, as Nancy said, my name is Rosalind Ashford. I have been a Budget Blinds owner now for 10 years, 10 years this month. Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you very much. So I started, I was doing corporate, doing the corporate thing, and I just kind of got an itch to do something different. And this was in 2004. And so I left corporate in 2004, and I actually started doing interior decorating and interior redecorating. And
Right.
so
That's when we met.
that's when we met. Exactly, exactly. So that was all about taking what people have and reusing their space in a different way and making it more just comfortable and usable in their spaces. And so I did that for a few years. I did some interior design work, and then I got into home staging again. Nancy and I worked together again, and I enjoyed that. And then, the real estate market did its ups and downs, when I was doing home staging. And then I just kind of fell into window coverings. I had a good friend of mine who bought a franchise. It was not Budget Blinds, a different company that was doing window coverings and flooring. And she encouraged me to learn the window covering side because I could sell window coverings here. She was out west, and we could actually, sell them through her company. And so I did. So that's kind of my first toe dip into the window covering world. The thing that I liked about window coverings is that it's a service and a product. So there's obviously a physical product of a blind or a shade or what have you, but then there's also the service of meeting people's needs, being able to provide them products and having good installs, having a good service of the actual product. And then later, if there's a warranty issue, we're able to cover those as well. So from my just kind of dipping the toe in with her, I learned a little bit. I worked with one of the big retailers for about a year or just under a year. I'm selling window coverings. I learned a ton that way, but I wasn't making much money. So I was running around, I was selling all over the place, but I really wasn't making much money. And so I had the opportunity with some business partners. I learned about Budget Blinds and the opportunity. It's a franchise. And so I myself and two business partners purchased one territory in Silver Spring in 2013. And we purchased our second territory in 2015, which covers Bethesda. So as a franchise, we own like a certain number of zip codes per territory. And so we're responsible for servicing those zip codes, exclusively against other, within the family of other Budget Blinds owners. So there's now, 10 years later, there's 1,300 Budget Blind owners across the US and Canada. It's the largest custom window covering company in the US and Canada. We're only third in volume behind Home Depot and Lowe's. And those two are not custom, they're stock. So when you go, what you see is what you get. So we're the largest custom window covering. But we are all independent franchise owners. So there are things that we do similarly. We use the logo and the coloring and some of the information that they give us. But as owners, we hire our own staff. We determine, whether they're a contractor or an employee. We can do our own marketing, so we can manage some of the things. If there are things in our market that maybe our franchise doesn't quite have, we can bring those into our market. We can bring them in as services or opportunities for our customers. So we do get a lot of autonomy with our business individually. And so, 10 years later, I'm still here selling blinds and shades. And most days I like it. It's interesting.
Well, that's with everything, right?
Yes, exactly. And so we sell residential. So we go to people's homes. We also do commercial. So I'll do restaurants and I'll do gyms and I'll do schools or nursery schools and daycares. Like, a window is a window is a window. So we do all of those things. I've done some work with the government because I'm in the DC area, obviously. I've done a little bit of work with the state. So, we do anything as far as it, as long as it involves covering windows. is what we do. And, there's all kinds of ways. I mean, I never thought when I started this business, there were so many ways to cover a window, but there's a ton of ways to cover a window.
I know, and that's what's interesting, because you have most people that think of window coverings as like, oh, you put some blinds up and you
And
call
just
it
go.
a day.
Right.
But no, that is not it. You have the ones that comes down from the
From the
bottom,
top.
from top down, bottom up.
Exactly.
The ones that you
Exactly.
touch, and they go up.
They go
and
up.
just
We
hold
have
it and it comes
motorized.
down. I mean,
Right.
it's motorized. You can use remote. I mean, it's all kinds. So it's really to your special style, right? You get
Exactly.
to choose colors and fabrics and
Exactly.
textures. I mean, so it's more than just window covering right now. I think it's
Yes.
part of the decor. It's part of who you are as the person that's living in our
Exactly.
home. So it's
Exactly.
more than just I'm covering my windows.
Right. Exactly. And so there's two things. One is that 40% of the energy in your home goes in and out of your windows. Right. So if your windows, you don't have new windows and they're not double pane, and with the ergonom with the E values and that kind of thing, you're losing energy, which means what? That's costing you money,
Right.
because you're having to heat more, you're having to cool more your home.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it is, yes, the decorative part. So how does it feel? How does your space feel? And what you do with your windows from a decorative standpoint can really change the mood of a room. You can lower a window, block out the light, watch a movie. These things you can manage with the window coverings that can help you change the mood in the space.
Right.
So, the fact that the energy, a lot of people forget about that. But if you don't have anything up and it's really hot, that means it's going to be hot in your space, and you run your AC more, right? So your AC bills are higher, that kind of thing. Vice versa in the wintertime, if you don't have great windows and you don't have any coverings, or you have a very thin or cheap covering, you're losing a lot of heat. So you're having to run your heat more.
Right.
So your window coverings help manage that. And you can determine when you want to open them, when you want to close them. And we have a lot of options now. Automation. You can say, Alexa, raise my shades, and Alexa will raise your shades.
So you can actually do that now, because
Absolutely.
those are the ones that are what do you call it, electronic or
we have automated. So, yes, we can automate your shades. You could say 6 o'clock in the morning, I want all my bedroom shades to come up, and at 7 o'clock they all go down. And you can set that up, and it's really not that hard, and it's really not that expensive. It's just like a hub.
I am liking that.
Yeah, we give you a hub to connect to your router, your home router, and then you can manage on your phone how your settings, how you want to set it. And yeah, you can manage it. You can manage it when you're not home. So you can say away and they'll come down. You can even set it on your phone that when you drive in the driveway, the window treatments open up. You can
wow. So this is sort of like that whole light situation where when you're on vacation or you're away, you can turn your lights on.
Same type of thing. Yeah.
So basically, this is the same thing. You can during the day, you can open your shades,
open the louver,
and
open the
close them back in the evening while you're gone. So again, it gives the appearance as someone is actually there. Right. Yes. So that's that security protection portion of it, which a lot of people may not thought about, but that's what I'm thinking about is when you're gone, instead of having the shades down so everybody knows you're not there, you have the movement with your blinds every day. And then, like you said, you wake up, and maybe this is a way to wake you up, is at 6 a.m. Lord, my shades better not go up at 6 a.m.
Yep. And they'll go up and, say, okay, it's time to get up, and for your kids, you can set it up in your children's room. You don't have to go in the room and open them up. You could say, time for school, and the shades open up.
Right.
And they don't even have the control. You have the parent has the control in their room.
Right. Oh, right. So this would be, is this a device that is provided by Budget Blinds, or is it connected to some other Alexa or Siri or one of the talking ladies?
So we provide the device. It's basically a hub, and so different vendors have different hubs and different capabilities, but all of them will allow you to do the same thing. So when you purchase a blind from us, you would purchase the remote and the hub. And then when my guys would come to install them, they would program them using your phone, because it's going to be on your phone, and your hub is connected to your network in your home. And then once you have it on your phone, then you can set up how you want to do it. So you then connect it to the Alexa, because then the Alexas usually come connected to your router, or Google Home, or whatever voice activated system you have. Some people don't like the voice thing. You can just use your phone or a tablet, an iPad.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, I mean, you can work that out. I don't know if we've done that yet, but I'm sure it's possible to clap your hands.
You like blinds up?
Right, exactly.
So let me ask you about right now, because we're still, even though people think we're still in a pandemic, right? We're still, it's still going on.
Yes.
And people think it's not, but it's still going on. So now versus before, what is the lead time? How long does it take from me ordering, you coming and measuring, for me to receive my finished product?
Sure. So to be perfectly honest, our lead times are really, tough in 2000, maybe the beginning of 2001, but they're pretty much back to normal now. So I can get you blinds and shades in about 2 weeks from order to delivery to our shop, and then another week for install, just with schedules. As well. And then there's, some products that just the nature of those products are going to be maybe longer, 8 to 10 weeks. Some of the shutters that are in specialty shape, like an odd arch or something like that, will take longer. But the majority of our products are honestly between 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay. And then as far as the measuring, you all do the measuring. Because I know I had once a long time ago, I'd ordered some blinds and they wanted me to do the measuring. I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
No,
we take care of the measurements. We take the responsibility of the measurements. So something else that people don't realize is, I can measure a window, but it's really not that hard, but people consistently do it incorrectly.
Exactly. And then who's
consistently do it incorrectly. So we take that responsibility. We measure, and usually it happens during the consultation. So you call and say, hey, I want to do blinds, and you're in my area, and we talk about what you're trying to spend and what your time frame is. Because if you need them next week, I'm probably not the person for you. But if you've got a month or so, then we can work something out. And then I come out and I or myself or my salesperson, and then I have a van full of product samples. I have pictures. Talk to you about, look at your windows. Tell me what's going on in the space. Is this a bedroom? Is it an office? Is it what's going on with the space? And then we measure, and then we give you a quote, and then we process the order.
Okay. Wow. So all about blinds. What are we saying? Cover your windows. There's no need to go naked anymore, right?
That's right. That's right.
We are going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, Rosalind and I are going to talk a little bit more about pricing and types of blinds, and a lot more about blinds. We'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good.
ICABA, ICABA, stands for the International Career and Business Alliance. And basically, it's really about building, activating relationships that grow wealth.
What is ACABA doing? ACABA is putting you in an environment where you can rub shoulders, you can actually talk to wealth creators, to entrepreneurs who may look like you, who may come from circumstances like you, who may come from an environment like your environment. And then once you go ahead and grab that baton, you might say, well, this is possible. This individual over here did it, and now I can do it. So ICABA is raising our level of vision, and they're doing a fantastic.
Follow the Brand TV broadcast host, Grant McGaw, as he visits with top executives and entrepreneurs to find out their secrets of success with their personal brand. Follow the Brand TV broadcast host as he focuses on brand development to build better relationships, bring value to your business, relationships, and career. You will enjoy listening to each episode that is tailored to speak to you directly. If you're looking for this type of clarity in terms of building your brand, you have tuned into the right station. Each episode will help you to shape a conversation in the 5-star BDM network of 20,000 professionals and become a springboard for your corporate engagement and business opportunities. Each guest will frame their story in the areas of personal branding, business development, career development, financial empowerment, and technology innovation. Grant McGaw explains why he is the CEO and owner of his own professional career. Grant is an accomplished business leader and entrepreneur who wants to give back to individuals to grow their personal brand strategy. Tune in as he weaves his story about new possibilities, while to you exceed expectations. If you love storytelling, this show will make for fun.
Legalese on me, making complex issues easy. Legalese on me, talking all things legally. Legalese on me, for entrepreneurs.
Welcome back. You're watching and listening to the Alert Factor. I'm Nancy Allert, and we're here with Rosalind Ashburn, owner of Budget Blinds, and she covers the territories of Montgomery County, Silver Spring, Bethesda, and some parts of Washington, D.C. Yes?
Correct. You are correct.
All right. And she is, she's boss lady over there running stuff for 10 years this month. You've been doing this, but Rosalind started with interior designing, redecorating, which is where we met. Me being a realtor, looking for help with my clients in staging and stuff like that. So do you still do any of that, or are you just so busy with covering windows?
I'm pretty much busy with covering windows. I may do a little bit of design work for friends or, some family members on the side when I can fit it in. But honestly, running the blinds
But
is
no
pretty full time.
staging.
No staging. No, I have a good friend who has a pretty active staging business, and so I still get calls for it, believe it or not.
Uh-huh.
Even though I
Oh,
haven't
so you got a
staged.
good referral. You have a good
Yes, I
person
have an
to
excellent
refer.
referral. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna have to talk about that later because it's all right now. It's really, and it's not even right now, but it just seems like now it's more so than ever, the
Yeah.
staging.
Staging's
Because
important. Yeah.
exactly, staging. I
Mhm.
tell people staging is very important, and you don't necessarily have to, if the house is not vacant, you don't necessarily have to go out. You just need to not have a clutter and maybe rearrange
Right.
some things, throw a little
Exactly.
bit of, maybe get a pillow, throw some
Right.
color there with a
Put stuff
pillow or a
together.
throw,
Yeah, for
and it
sure.
makes a difference, right?
Yep. Yep. It does. It
It's
really does.
this is what I tell people as a realtor. If you pop some color in a room, you
Mhm.
change the floor, or you
Mhm.
paint the walls, or you change the
Or you
blinds,
change the windows.
right? You
I have
change
worked with
the
realtors
window
that are.
blinds, and
Mhm.
it makes a difference. So
It
tell
does.
me, because this is what you're doing now. This is what you've been doing for 10 years.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
tell the people basically, like when I tell them redoing a bathroom makes a big difference,
Mhm.
painting makes a
Mhm.
difference, even if you pop one wall of color, right? You don't have to
Mhm.
paint the
Mhm.
whole room. You can just put one
But one
accent
wall.
wall.
Right. Exactly.
Just how that makes a huge difference. Changing your blinds is
Mhm.
significant. It is like it makes such a huge difference. So tell us like where you can start, like it's always about the
Mhm.
budget as well,
Budget.
right?
Budget.
But your
Yes. Yes.
name of your company is Budget
Called Budget
Blinds,
Blinds. We have a
which tells
style and
me I'm
service
not
for.
breaking the bank.
Yes, we have style and service for every budget. Okay, so it's not low budget blinds because people think, oh, everything's going to be
Right.
low, 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 low. So we have something for everyone. So here's what I tell people. Just even before we get into budget, just managing your expectations on what from a window covering perspective. So
Mhm.
we all know that you can go to the big box stores and buy blinds and shades. They have them there. They are stocked. They're certain sizes. And if your windows fit in those sizes and your budget is an issue, you can absolutely go there. My prices are not going to beat theirs. Their
Mhm.
volumes are, even though we have high volumes, they're going to be much higher. That's
Right.
their wheelhouse, right? But if you have windows that are really large, so over 96 inches wide, they're tall, they're over 84 inches tall, you have a triangular window, you have a circle window.
Mhm.
Those are things that Home Depot, I mean, the big box are not going to carry, right?
Right.
If you are like, I ask people, are you a vampire? Meaning, you need no light coming in, not a little bit of light
Black
on
it
the
out. Black
sides.
it
You
out.
need it to be completely dark. We have solutions for that. They're not going to have solutions for that, right? We're going to say, okay, this is the size of your window. These are the things that we can do to give you pitch black. And honestly, within the last 2 years, because prior to that, we would probably still have products that have little gaps, but now I have products that there will be no light coming in your window.
Wow. Wow.
So it really depends on what you're looking for. So we have to start with that, just baseline expectations. So are you a person that needs that level of customer service where your windows are requiring it, you need it, you don't want to measure a bunch of windows, you have over 30 windows, or you're not trying to measure them all, they're high up, the windows they may start, the top of the window might be 10 feet tall, okay, or 12 feet. You might have like double story windows. You have to get on a ladder to get up there. You might want to give us a call. Those are the types of things just to start, just a baseline. So even before we get into actual numbers, those are just baseline. So given that, I like to tell people, I like to just give you a framework of like, there's a lot of different products and what products are like more of the lower end versus ones that are at the higher end of the spectrum. So if you have like, again, you're looking at a window, the typical lower end of their spectrum, you're talking about your basic faux blinds and maybe mini blinds, a little 1-inch aluminum blinds. Those are your lower end products, partly because everybody has them. There's not a lot of specialty with them. There's some different things we can do with them. We have ones that close really tight versus some that will leave a lot of gapping and light again. We've got some really good cordless options that are very consistent and that work very well over time. So faux are usually your lowest, you're starting on your lower end. Then your cellular, your honeycomb shades is the next level up. They're both still kind of on the lower end. They're both very functional, right? I want a blind that's going to open louvers or a blind that's going to top down. They're very functional. You're buying them because you want to function. As you start to get up in price, you start to get up in more decorative. You have more decorative options, I should say. Not
Right.
so the next one is probably like a roller shade. So it's not your old school when you were at home and you had the black roller shade that you pull down and it would swip up. They're a little more sophisticated. When I say roller shade, people think of the white blackout, that everybody had. We're not talking about that. We have some nice decorative fabrics, some nice light color fabrics that give you privacy. These are ones that you can do a chain to manage. You can do them cordless. And also these are where you start doing remotes. You can do remotes in honeycombs as well, but a lot of people start doing them in roller shades. So that's like your third tier as far as price wise is concerned. From roller shades, you go up to probably wovens. So the shades that have like a bamboo or grassy kind of look and feel to them are your woven shades. And then there's a product called Dual Shades, which is kind of like, some people call them zebra. They have a stripe. It kind of gives you some flexibility from transition. Those are kind of like your next level price wise. Then after that, you're starting to look at maybe your shutters, your Roman shades. Those are, your higher priced products. And then things like silhouettes or window shadings is probably a little bit higher than that, and drapery.
So are the prices going up based on the level of complexity of the blind or the material of the blind?
It's more of the material, like for instance, wovens. All the materials for wovens are actually natural products. So they're actually bamboos and grasses and reeds that are that are drawn down and dried, and then they're dyed and sewn together. So there's some level of complexity with that. And you're getting a natural product. It's not going to look the same. Each line's going to, because it's natural. So some of that is happening, as well as the functionality. As you get things that have more function, their pricing tends to go up. So like a shutter will allow you to open them physically, like a door, as well as the louvers can open. So that's going to give you a level, they're going to be a little bit more. They're also a little more, you don't usually take out shutters in home. They're a little more stationary once you put them in the home. They're more like furniture for your windows.
Right.
So you're not usually changing them. And the shutter is the only product from a window covering perspective that actually adds value to your home when you're selling it. So if you have shutters in, you can add that onto your, you could add pricing onto your home.
Right, because you have the shutters.
Because they're not things that are changed often. They're usually
would you say that's the same about the plantation shutters? Is that
yes.
what you're talking about?
So the difference is now we don't what they call plantation shutters were usually really thin shutters, and now they're a little thicker. I actually have one here. I can show you. I have a little prop.
Oh, okay.
So they have thicker louvers, right?
Right.
So 3 inches of space,
gotcha.
Right, as opposed to like a 1 inch. That the those are more like a 1 inch size, so they're going to be bigger. And so I can open them this way, and I can open it. If I can get it. I can open it that way. So it's like a door, right?
So this is what you were talking about, when you can open it like a door, or you can just open it.
Exactly.
And that's if you
this
had,
way, or I can do it this way.
Okay, so like if you really want to have the windows open, but you have what do you call it? The mesh. What do you call that?
A screen.
You can open the window part, right? Open it like that, like the door, and you have the screen to keep the bugs out, but you're getting the air coming in.
And all shutters always have a hinge. They always have a door and a hinge. They always open. You don't have to open them.
Shutters always come like that, Rosalind, where you can open it like the window or like the door?
Yes, they always do. Now, whether or not you open them physically, it's up to you, but they will always have the option to do that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
and
it's
so
a nice clean look.
I like it. I really like that. And you said the shutters, do they come in thicker ones and thinner ones?
Yeah, so this is a 3 inch. So this particular brand is one of the few that has a 3 inch louver. Most of them are 2.5 inches. They're usually 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. This particular brand made a 3 inch because there are some cases where the 2 inch, so there's the louver itself is 3 inches and the space between is 3 inches.
Right.
So sometimes the back of the louver was hitting the windows when it was 3.5. So they
Mhm.
made the 3 inch just to give us a little more options, right?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
2.5 is pretty common. But 3.5, actually, for a lot of the newer homes, 3.5 is what I see mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you had that. So, because when you had said it opens like a door, I really didn't see it, but I'm
Yeah.
so glad you had that.
Yeah. And so that's the
we're
type of
able-
thing that when we come, we'll have hand samples for people because, we talk about it every day, all day long, but we know that the average person doesn't talk about window coverings. So we'll
Exactly. So they
yeah,
need to
so we'll
see
put a
it.
sample. You need to see it. So we'll put a sample in a window. You can touch it and feel it and see how it works. And then we'll open up our sample books and you can see the different color options that are available with the different
Okay.
functions.
Okay, so like when you're talking about, because this is my favorite type of blind, the one that is remote control that you can open it from top down. Because I always think the bottom should be closed because you're walking around, people can see you. But if you have
Right.
the top come down, you get the light that comes in and people
Yes.
don't see in. Is that
Yes.
part of the lower, middle, or higher?
So it's
level?
lower from a honeycomb perspective, but once you add the motor, it's going to go up probably more to the middle, right? So
Right.
to start off with a honeycomb, yes, it's kind of more of like your basic product, and then you add things onto it to maybe move it to the middle. But yeah, we do have that option where you can bring it top down. We have two options. One is it'll just have a motor it's recharged about once a year. So you would plug it in just like you plug in your phone about once a year and recharge your motor. And then the other option is a similar motor, but the motor has a charging wand. So you plug into your shade and charge it. And so that's a new feature we just added. So there's some different options. Because the thing about the motors, people are like, oh, I want motor. Every motor has to have power. So either it's a battery and it's recharged, it's a physical battery like a D, or it's hardwired. But every motor has to have power. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I have a skylight or I have a window that's really high up. I want to motorize it, which is great. We'd love for you to motorize it, but we need to figure out the power situation.
Oh, right. Because if it's way up there, you're going to use it until the battery's gone.
And then what happens? Right. So I always tell, if you're thinking about doing something like that, or you see a high window and you're building your house or you're about to build or contractor, put power up there. Even if you don't know what you want, just put it up there.
Oh, you mean have the electricity outlet up there?
Exactly.
Because you might need right.
So later you say, well, I want to put a shade up there. It's killing us. That where the light is coming in, it's right on our kitchen table. And they call me in to do a shade, and I'm like, well, we need to get power up there. Otherwise, we got to figure out how we're going to recharge a battery. And you're like, I don't want to recharge a battery. So if I tell people.
So I was thinking, if someone was building a house, they really should be consulting with you.
Yeah.
While especially if they're gonna have skylights and
if they're gonna do skylights or really high windows or even just really big windows. I talked to somebody that does window coverings. A lot of people wait till the end. Oh, we don't have to think about it till the end. And then it's like, oh, if you put an outlet here, we could put a shade in, or we could have done something differently here. And then we have some options that are battery powered. I have a company that does a battery powered shade that will last 4 to 5 years. So it's not lost if you don't do it. But if it is a high window and we don't think about it ahead of time, then we have to come up with something later.
Okay. So along those lines, if you have the remote, right? Is the remote the one that has the battery, or is it up? Yeah,
there's two places. But the remotes and the batteries usually last 5 to 10 years. Like it's rare that you have to change a battery remote. The shade battery is the one that's gonna need to be.
Oh, so they both have batteries.
Yes.
Ah.
But it's kind of like a watch, and not that anybody really wears watches anymore, but. The remotes, exactly. But the batteries in the remotes will last a lot longer. And then, when I was telling you before about the Alexa, you don't have to use your remote at all for those. You can put the remote in the drawer and you use your phone, right? So your phone becomes your remote, and your remote
somehow you connect it to Alexa.
Yes, you connect it, and you're telling it exactly. You're talking to it through your phone, so you can just use your remote as a backup. So then you don't have to have the remote. Yeah.
So when you come and you guys install the blinds with the remotes and everything, you're right there connecting the movement of the blinds with your Alexa or whatever you have. Oh,
yeah. Wow. So what we do is when we come to install, obviously we put the shade up, make sure it works, and then we connect the shade to the remote first, and or to the phone. And then the phone, and well, I should say the phone will talk to the hub, and the hub then tells it whether to go up and down. And then your phone, you tell the phone, I want it to go up at 8. I want it, so you do your scheduling and everything through your phone. And now your remote is not necessary. You can, like I said, put your remote in a drawer, and you're going to run everything off your phone. And so then you don't have to think about your battery for your remote.
Well, this is fabulous. Look, you can get fantastic, beautiful remote operated, manual operated, whatever you want, blinds, your colors, your textures, however you want them open. If you have square windows, rectangular windows, circular windows, budget blinds, got you, right?
We got you. We got you.
Ashford has you. Just give her a call. So, Rosalind, can you tell everyone how they can reach you, how they can get you, so they can get these beautiful blinds?
Absolutely. So there's a couple ways. One way, the easiest way is our website. Just simple, budgetblinds.com/Bethesda, or you can just say budgetblinds.com, and then usually in the corner it'll ask you your zip code. You put in your zip code, and then it'll connect you, if not to me, because if you're not in my territory, it'll connect you to whoever is the closest person to you. The other way, you could call us, for those that are local here. So our phone number here is 301-926-2334. And that is the other way you can reach us.
And so let me ask you, so that's how you reach Budget Blind. But if we wanted to reach you, Rosalind Ashford, directly, so it's that same number you
That's
would call?
that number, yes.
Just ask for Rosalind.
That's my number here locally.
Oh, okay, great. So they can just call you and say, hey, I just bought a house, or we want to do something new with what we have. We want to chat with you about some ideas in making our place look a little fresh, a little nicer, a little, more modern. You come over with your tools.
Yes, and we'll figure it out for sure. Yeah.
And you give ideas and samples. Do you?
Yes, we give you. Yeah, we'll have samples with us. We'll, help you through. We have a lot of pictures and some ideas for you. We will either we can give you a quote on the spot, or we can email you the quote like the next day with whatever we discussed. And, we can go back and forth. Hey, I want to change this, or I want to modify this, or I only want to do the main level now, and I want to do the upstairs later, or vice versa. We don't have a problem. Whatever makes sense for you. And then once you order, then like I said, usually between 2 weeks and a month, your products will come into our office. And then one of my project managers on my team will call and set up for the installation, and the installers will come out and review everything and put everything up and clean up after themselves and make it fabulous. And then we'll probably ask you for an amazing review, because we've done an amazing job, and we'll love for you to tell your friends. So.
Right. And so is there a minimum number of windows, because these are custom, right?
Right.
You're doing these custom windows. Is there a minimum that you have?
So I do like to do at least 3 windows per visit, but I will say if it's a window that is, again, 9 feet or wider, that's worth me. Even if it's just one, it's worth it, because I know that that's going to be a little bit of money, and also that you're not going to find that kind of stuff on, in the store.
Okay. So normally
minimum of 3, like average. Yeah, minimum of 3 average size, or one, one.
Yeah, one big custom made window. Because
exactly.
Right. So you're custom making a blind for a custom made window. That is fantastic. So would you say that when someone call you and you go out and meet with them, are they like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was going to be this price, as in good, not bad.
Right.
And have you had them say, well, okay, so I don't want to do all of the windows, but maybe when you're recommending, would you say do the front, and then we could come back and do the back later? Or
I would say do the rooms that are important. So many times when people move into a house, the rooms that are important are the bedrooms, right? And if there's a room that, like when you first walk in the house, that people can see from the street, you might want to do
the living
that.
room.
Yeah, and then maybe you will come back and do like the kitchen if it's in the back, or maybe the office, some of those other spaces. Usually the bedrooms are the most important.
Right,
And then that
right.
kind of that first entry living room space is important. And then we can come back and do some others.
Right. So the bedrooms are usually most important because you want that coverage because you're in the bedroom, right? And you don't want people looking
Exactly.
into your bedroom. And
Exactly.
usually those are at the front of the house also, most of them, right?
Many of them are in
So
the front of the house. That's true.
right.
That's
So you're
true.
covering the front
The
windows.
front. Yeah. And some people get into this, like, does the front of the house have to look the same? You know, the downstairs have to have the same treatment. They don't have to. It just depends on the homeowner. Some
Oh,
people
well,
want
that was my next
everything.
question for you.
Yeah, some people want everything to look the same. Some
Mhm.
people don't mind that things are different, because the way I see it is like different functions are happening in different parts of the house, right?
That's
Inside.
true.
Because the reality is the window treatments are for you inside, not necessarily always for outside, right?
Mhm.
Draperies
Right.
for the inside. So if there's different things going on, then you can have things differently. There are products that will look the same from the outside, even though it's different. So like the honeycomb shades will almost always have a white on the outside. It doesn't matter whether it's a blackout or light filtering, it'll still be white.
Ah,
So you could choose
okay.
different, you could choose red downstairs and blue upstairs and purple. And from the
Oh, but
outside,
it's
they all
always
look the same.
white on the outside, but your
Outside.
colors on the inside.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
fantastic because then
Yeah.
you can truly get
You
what
can do
your
something.
aesthetics is,
Exactly.
what you want it to be. But meanwhile, you have it very cohesive on the
Mhm.
outside. Because especially if you're in a condo, some
Right.
condos are telling you they want white.
They want
So you
white
do
on the
have the white
outside.
on the
Yes.
outside where everybody can
Yes.
see, but you have your color. Oh,
Absolutely.
that is beautiful. Rosin, you have it
Yes.
going on over there at Budget Blinds. I
Yeah.
love it. Have you ever had to say to someone, I'm sorry, but that is not the type of blind you should put in this house? Or do you always just give them what they want?
No, I always say, I try to always think of myself as the homeowner, and try to put myself in their shoes. But I also know that I've seen a lot more than they have. And
Mm.
so I won't, sometimes I'm like, I don't think you're going to like this. Like, you're saying it now, but I think that, when we come to install this, you're not going to be happy. And my goal is always to make sure that you're happy, because if you're not happy, you're not going to tell anybody. It's not going to be good for either one of us. So
I know because
I'm always
sometimes people want what they want, right? Because I'm
right.
now
Yeah. And
remembering,
exactly. And I'll just say to them a couple times, are you sure? This is what it's going
right?
to be.
Because
And then
the
if it's
end product, when it's a
right.
lot of it, like I'm remembering a movie I saw, and it happened in Long Island where the woman killed her husband. She was a realtor or whatever, but they had this big, huge, beautiful home in Long Island, and she was like, "I want these red tulips everywhere." And the guy, the gardener, the landscaper, told her, "You don't
No,
want
no,
because it's
right.
gonna look crazy. It's gonna look
Crazy.
a
Right.
sea of red. You don't want it." And she's like, "That's what I want." And so he gave her what she wanted. And then everybody was talking about it. Then she was mad at the gardener. She's like, why did you? She's like, you said you wanted
You said you
red.
wanted it. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's the fine line with anything with a service, right? Because people have
Right.
this idea of what they want, and they're saw it at their friend's house. And I'm always like, well, is their friend's house like this house or not? So, but I try to balance it. And I try to be
Yeah.
honest with people and say, somebody says, I want sheer in my bedroom. Are you sure? You really sheer means people can see in. Are you good with that? But if they say that's what they want, and and they're willing to pay for it, then we give them what they want.
Give them what they want. So what I
Mhm.
say is no more naked windows.
No more
Cover
naked
yourself.
windows.
No more naked windows. Cover yourself. Contact Rosalind Ashford at Budget Blinds for all your window needs. I am Nancy Allert. I am. This is the Alert Factor you're watching. We're here every Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Getting it done. See you next time. Thanks,
Thanks, Nancy.
Rosalind.